Welcome back to another episode of TVGP's We Roguelike It, show we play every roguelike in history. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpeer.
I hate you.
I love that you forget this terrible intro a little bit every week, and I say it, and you're just like, you're the worst.
Yeah, for those who don't watch the video version, you can literally see my face drop every single time.
The realization, yeah. We're here
Mm-hmm.
for our fourth and final week of Crown Trick. How did let me go first because I have I likely have the shortest update.
I don't know about that, but okay, let's go.
Okay, well, we'll see. Um, I played a handful of runs this week, and I'm kind of stuck at the spot I was last week. It's
Mm-hmm.
not for lack of trying, but uh, it's not even that I'm hitting a wall. It's not even, the thing that sort of gets my hackles up about people playing roguelikes is like, oh, the only way you make progress is if you have that one lucky run. You get the perfect item and you get the perfect RNG and you win the game and it'll never happen again. This is definitely, I feel like we maybe have played a game or two that's been like that. This is definitely not. Most roguelikes aren't like that, and this isn't that game. So it's not that I haven't had that one perfect run to finish the first boss and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like I am at a wall kind of skill wise and game knowledge wise more than anything else. Sort of like I haven't fought the bosses enough to know all the patterns and know how to kind of abuse them. I haven't gotten to the point where I can upgrade all my summons or familiars or whatever they're called, so I'm kind of treading water, but not in a bad way, I guess. Um,
Yeah, you feel
doesn't
like you're just waiting for that one run to get you to that boss and the end of it.
Yeah, because I feel like I need to keep fighting like the third floor boss to kind of get that aha moment where it's like, oh, okay, this is how I'm supposed to kind of avoid, abuse, kind of exploit this boss. Because the first floor boss, not a problem really at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I need to have more time with it and kind of get that level, build the flow chart as we used to call it in Isaac, and kind of get everything all settled in. And I just haven't had enough time with it, which is a bummer because I'm really enjoying it. I'm still enjoying it a lot, even as I'm kind of smashing my face a little bit on a brick wall. I'm still like, all right, that run didn't go super well, but let's hop in and let's do another one. It's not. We've played some roguelikes where you do your first run in the week and it's like, oh, I don't want to play it anymore. Oh God, I got one run in this week. I'm good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah, it's. Oh, I I feel terrible that I wasn't able to beat another one of the days.
Sure.
Because I did make it to the what I'm hoping is the last boss because it's the same boss from the first one, unless he's the mid boss,
Oh yeah.
like several times and constantly gets stomped by him,
Hmm.
which is great.
Now that you're mentioning it, I haven't even realized until this point that there's no when you're progressing between floors, there's no indication of how far you are through a run. Like if you look at the previous game, Wizard of Legend, there was like, all right, you move to this first node. There's like 8 of them or 6 of them or whatever, and then there's a big one at the end. That's clearly the progression. And this one, unlike a lot of the roguelikes we play, is just sort of like, all right, keep going. Like let's see
Yeah,
how
there is
far you
no
can get.
map to
Right.
speak of.
Right. Exactly. That's interesting.
Which I think there's 6 floors on the first
Okay.
dungeon, including the half floors. There's 6 floors in total.
Right.
Um, but the only downside of it is on the boss, the final boss for that dungeon, and I'm assuming mid boss for the next 2 days
Hmm.
or for the next days. you finish a floor and then you go up the stairs and go straight into a boss fight. You don't get another mid floor with a healing thing. It's just
Wow,
straight into the boss.
that's rough, man. Okay,
Hmm.
interesting.
So if you had a rough floor, that floor, which I have had several times, you go into
Hmm.
that room and you're just like, great, I'm boned.
Yeah, and based on the game's unlockables, especially with the elixirs, there's a pretty considerable number of upgrades there, but after the first like one or two nodes, they're pretty expensive.
Hmm. And that's something I needed to get better at was using those potions and elixirs that you get at the start of the run. Like
Hmm.
the gold gain one, I would get that a lot and just be like, well, I don't know, is that like once per room? And it's like, no, that's for the full run. You should just drink it the second you have them,
Oh
kind of
wow,
thing.
okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's the bosses are hard, but I don't know if that's because I don't take my time enough.
That's
Like
always
I
my question.
I think because I think my favorite boss is the repeating one who some of them are very difficult, but it's the one who teleports to the four different spaces.
Hmm.
Like I absolutely adore them because that they allow me to do a bunch of damage to them. Then they'll summon help, and then I can usually get out of the range of their attacks, and then let the help come to me. Use the
Ah,
help to build up the meter to
right.
increase your damage percentage, and then by doing that, you're doing the break things, and then you're getting the
Hmm.
break bonus, so you get the damage up. And then use blink to teleport as quickly as I can to wherever the boss is to do as much damage as possible
Sure.
while my damage is like at 50, 75, 100% bonus.
Yeah, and then you like get to the quarter pips in the health bar, so you get some health and MP
And
back.
mana back, yeah.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, that's been kind of my big question here is like I'm not the most well versed in these kind of traditional like turn-based top-down roguelikes, which is part of the reason why I wanted us to play it on the show is kind of get us one that seemed pretty cool. Um,
Hmm.
and I feel like I should be taking those bosses a little bit more like almost like a turn-based strategy RPG, rather than me kind of. I don't really rush through them, but I feel like I could be taking a little bit more time to kind of strategize.
Yeah, and I wish I knew the rules about the secret rooms as well because
Yeah.
sometimes like that huge stack of money that you can get from those rooms makes a world of difference.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you get to like the gotcha machine or the gambling machine, like even the between floors stuff where it's like, okay, now I can afford some of the. There's always like three tiers where it's like, here's consumable items. You don't care about those. Here's some interesting weapons. Those are interesting. Here's some real powerful stuff over here. And it's like, well, I can't afford
Yeah.
that, so.
Yeah, I think this week I did manage to get a sword which does the three attacks directly in front of you,
Right.
the three squares. Um, and it was pretty powerful. But one of the rolls was like if you attack after blinking, you have like a 10% chance to not consume the blink,
Ooh, all right.
which is okay. But then I
Yeah.
just re-rolled it at the forge in that shop
Mm-hmm.
and got the third perk on it was already like you get a 50% increased chance or 50% increased damage on criticals.
Oh, wow.
So I re-rolled the middle perk, which was the blink one, to a 10% increase in critical chance.
Right. Where you're trying to double down on crits.
Hmm.
Right.
It worked out pretty well right until that stupid last boss of the first dungeon, maybe the boss of the second one.
Right.
Like those maps are small and he moves quick, and you run out of blink so fast.
Man. Yeah. I don't know. I liked my time with we'll obviously next week we'll get into the ranking episode. Um,
Hmm.
but throughout this whole month, playing Crown Trick has largely been like, yeah, this game is cool. I like this.
Yes, I did. I did get a fantastic rare trinket this week, which was a shame because I did not have an ice build going. I wish I did. But I got the unmelting ice trinket, which I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you know what that is.
No, I don't think I've seen that one before.
When you stand on a square of ice in a 3 by 3 square around you, turns to ice.
Oh, interesting.
So if you stand on, and I'm pretty sure the ice debuff is you always take critical hits. I think that's either the ice or the water one.
Right.
Um, and so you stand on one square of ice, and then you just become like Frozone or Iceman, where you're just walking around and producing ice paths as you go,
Oh, geez. Wow.
because you're stepping forwards into ice, which then makes the next three in front of you ice, and then the next
That's
three in
cool.
front of you ice.
Your
So it
Elsa
was
power
really
fantasies here.
hilarious.
Yeah. Wow.
It was so funny to just like be walking around, like hitting all of that, and it's just this ice path behind me and appearing in front of me as I'm walking.
Man,
It was
that's
just
cool. I love
it's so
roguelikes.
funny.
This genre is so good.
Hmm.
Man.
Weird, but good.
Yeah. Uh, any final thoughts here for this week before we get into what we're playing next?
No, not so much. The one good thing is, obviously, I'm still gonna have another week to play this before we officially start playing the next game, so
Right.
I'll probably dabble back in and out of it for a little while.
Yeah. It's a cool game because like you don't since it's not since it is turn based, like you don't have to worry so much about oh I gotta get up and go do this thing or oh I gotta answer this text or something like that. It's like yeah, the game will be here. It'll wait for you. Don't worry.
Uh-huh.
Well, speaking of our next game, we're gonna play Dreamscaper. Came out on the Xbox One series consoles, Windows, and Switch. If you have Game Pass, it is currently on Game Pass, which is a large reason why we're playing it. But came out in 2020. We'll spend the next month playing Dreamscaper. Thank you for listening.
Okay.
We'll see you all next run. Bye.
Bye.